that early Muslims like Ibn Abbas, Umar, Ibn Mas'ud, and many other companions, including the Prophet of Islam himself, believed that the sacrificed son of Abraham was Isaac and not Ishmael, as the Muslims of today believe. But the fact is, much later Muslims like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir, who came 7 centuries after the companions, corrupted the early standard narrative and believe from Isaac to Ishmael being the son to be sacrificed. How is that not bid'ah and kufr, disbelief? How can much later Muslims corrupt what the early companions believed? Wow! How could they corrupt the early understanding and view of the Sahaba and still claim to be Muslims? Did much later Muslims like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir receive new and improved divine revelation from Allah? Are they now the new prophets of Islam? And a very important question must be raised. Why, oh why, did they corrupt the standard view of the companions? Interesting. Now let me show you the proof that the main companions, including Muhammad himself, believed that the sacrificed son was Isaac and not Ishmael. I will include the references in the description box. If we go to the tafsir of Al-Qurtubi for chapter 37 verse 102 of the Quran, in volume 18 on page 61 we can read, most of them said the sacrificed son is Ishaq, i.e. Isaac. This is according to the uncle of Muhammad, Al-Abbas, and his son, the Abdullah bin Al-Abbas, the translator of the Quran himself and scholar of the Ummah. Ask any Sunni Muslim and he will admit that Ibn Abbas is the authority in explaining the Quran. And in the same tafsir of Al-Qurtubi on page 62 we can read that Ibn Jurayj attributed this view to Ibn Abbas, and that Ibn Abbas said the sacrificed son of Abraham is Isaac. And this is also the sahih or authentic explanation by another famous companion, namely Abdullah bin Mas'ud. And Hamad bin Ziyad reports from the Messenger of Allah himself that it's Isaac, Ishaq. And the father of Az-Zubayr from Jabir, he said, the sacrificed son is Isaac. And this is also narrated from Ali bin Abi Talib, the cousin of Muhammad and the son of Umar, Abdullah bin Umar, that the sacrifice is Isaac. And this is also the saying of the famous companion Caliph Umar as well. So the conclusion is, much later Muslims and Muslims of today changed the belief of the early Muslims and the Prophet of Islam. Isn't that corruption of Islam itself? Clearly, the much later Muslims had to corrupt the earlier view from Isaac being the sacrificed son to Ishmael when they found out it would become a major dilemma for the nation, proving Muhammad to be a false prophet and certainly not from the line of Isaac, the promised son, where from his lineage the true prophets would arise from. This is a burial. Please share this video on social media and let it go viral and stay away from Islam.